So I went back to the corporation and said, we've got to have McDonald's here. So I want to find a site, and I want to not say that we're closing this McDonald's and abandoning the neighborhood, but that we're relocating it. So I began my search up and down Broadway, throughout the community, to find the 100% corner for our use. And I ran into George Sherman, and the rest is history. George and I, at the time, he had only done phase 1 of the Hawthorne Crossing Center, and he and I went to various neighborhood group meetings to make sure we got that approval, and we cut a deal with George to build a McDonald's, a wonderful McDonald's, in the location that it is today. So I took that back to McDonald's, and I got a location site, and here we are, we're ready to go. We got a deal that's doable by McDonald's standards. And they said, well, Tim, since you love that neighborhood so much, you're going to run the McDonald's. So the rest is history. We've been the franchisee at that location for almost 16 years. My wife Doris is sitting in the front row, my son Justin and I. We've been in Minneapolis, in North Minneapolis, operating McDonald's for 16 years. We love the neighborhood. We love it so much that about 10 years ago, we did a development on the river, where the old Riverview Supper Club used to be. Just adjacent to the new Parkport headquarters is the Riverview Townhomes. 29 luxury townhomes on the river. Nobody thought it could be done. Nobody thought that we could sell $500,000 townhomes in North Minneapolis. Before we began construction, we had 75% of those under contract. It can happen. And so, we've been at that location at DuPont and Broadway, dealing with the wonderful people in the neighborhood, and also dealing with some of the not so wonderful people in the neighborhood. The former city councilperson, Don Hofstad, said to me just a couple of years ago, Tim, we're in an epidemic, heroin epidemic here, and your location, this area, is ground zero for all that activity. And I can attest to that. We deal with a lot. But I'm proud to say that that restaurant is one of the best operated restaurants in the system because we care, and because we got a great team, and because we believe in this community. Former Chief of Staff for R.T. Ryback and current Chief of Staff for Governor Dayton, Tina Flint Smith, once asked me when she was working with the city, says, Tim, we want to do something for the neighborhood. We want to do something for North Minneapolis to make a difference. What do you think you need in this community to turn it around, to make a difference? I thought about that for a few minutes, and I returned the question to her. I said, well, Tina, where do you live? She told me. I said, well, we want the same thing you have in your neighborhood. We want quality housing stock. We want safe streets. We want good quality public schools. We want access to goods and services, just like you have in your neighborhood. And that she was speechless after that. She turned and walked away. But that's what I believe we need. We need something that's going to change the trajectory of Broadway Avenue and hopefully North Minneapolis in a way that it hasn't been impacted before. I've been a former board member for the Hawthorne Area Community Council, former board member for the West Broadway Business Association, and I've been witness to at least a half a dozen planning studies, market studies, and so forth. And most recently, the Broadway Live. Great planning, great effort, great community input. Nothing's really happened. We talk about we want things in our community that we don't have. I hear people talking about they want a nice restaurant, and I keep telling them that we have McDonald's, what else do you want? No, we want white linen, tablecloths, we want to be able to order wine. We want a real restaurant, Tim. And, what about a dry cleaner? We don't have anything like that. A few weeks ago, I was in Washington, D.C. visiting my mom. Got a call from Barbara Johnson. Saturday. Barbara called and said, Tim, how you doing? I said, I'm good. Barbara, what's up? We need a bakery on Broadway Avenue. We need a place where people have baked goods and have a cup of coffee and just have a, you know, a nice place for the community to meet. And I let her talk. I said, Barb, you know I own McDonald's, right? You know I sell hamburgers. Why are you calling me about putting a bakery on Broadway Avenue? Well, she didn't know what we were planning in, so I took that as a good omen. So I said, Barb, when I get to town, we need to talk. And so, since we did the development on the river, I've been kind of in development combination, focusing on our McDonald's restaurant, and I've been motivated by several in the community and several in the development community to get back in the game. And I thought, well, how will I get back in the game? What will I do? What project is going to meet all of the interests and tests for my capabilities and my interests? What will I do? So I pondered that for over a year, talking to different people, traveling around the country, and saw some opportunities, not only in the metro area, but in different states. And I realized I need to start at home. We live in Minneapolis, we live in right off of Broadway on the river. We have our business here, probably one of the few national franchises that actually can make that claim. And I thought, let's really make a difference here. And what I've seen in different parts of the country, in urban areas like Broadway Avenue, is that there's a resurgence of returning to the urban core. You go to Washington, you go to Baltimore, you go to Detroit, you go to Chicago. Development is happening like we're proposing on Broadway. And to change the trajectory of the community, you need to have the economies of scale to make the vision believable. And so I think we've achieved that. It's going to be a lot of heavy lifting for the development team. It's going to be a learning experience for the end users, we hope. And we want to get your input and comments about what we're planning so that we can bring forth the best product that we can. Satori. What is Satori? Satori is a Japanese term that means enlightenment, consciousness, and understanding.
Dad.
Satori is a place where we can live, work, and shop. It's a mixed-use development of primarily retail, market-rate apartments, primarily luxury apartments, and office space. I have a catchphrase, and I'm just going to sing it to you so that you can kind of get a feel for what we're thinking about. The Satori term is meant to induce